apologize, but it often bears repeating. Hello, Kalpna. You're very welcome. It's really useful to get yourself comfortable. And once you've gotten yourself comfortable, whatever that is, remembering it's absolutely fine to change your posture if you become uncomfortable at any point. Or if you find that sitting still, most people are going to be sitting or lying still. If that just doesn't work for you for whatever reason, if you want to stand up and start to introduce a little bit of mindful movement, if you want to move your arms up on the in breath and down on the out breath, yeah, by all means do that. You know how to be comfortable. And if movement is something that you can do as part of your mindful meditation practice, then do that. Everybody will find something that works slightly differently for them. If you're lying down flat on your back, my advice to you is to get some pillows or cushions and maybe put them under your knees. Just flex your knees a little bit. Hey, Deb from Argonne. If your legs are out straight, sometimes that can put a bit of pressure on the spine from my long experience of chronic back pain. So if you don't have cushions, then just bring your feet towards you and bend your knees. Let your feet be a little bit apart and let your knees fall together. And usually then you can kind of forget about your legs and your back. Your spine is comfortable. If you're sitting, if back pain is something that you live with, then having a rolled up towel or a cushion behind the small of your back or somewhere in your lumbar spine, that can be very helpful. And if that's not really an issue for you, still it can be helpful to tuck your bum right into the corner of the chair. And you'll find that your spine is really supported by the backrest with that. And yeah, then what can you do? I find a cushion to rest my arms on. And that just takes the weight off my shoulders. I can feel my body letting go another bit of effort or tension just by doing that. And if you're a little bit cold, maybe having a blanket or a wrap or another layer that you can take on and off as your temperature rises and falls for whatever reason. Anything else? Most of us are a little bit dehydrated, so if you have some water beside you, hydrate a little bit. And as well, if at any point you need to go to the toilet, by all means, leave the practice, go to the toilet, come back and just start again. There are some meditations that are only a minute long, 5 minutes long. So it's kind of part of your self-care to pay attention to what your body needs, to look after yourself, and then come back. Because otherwise, we can be sitting here or lying here just thinking, oh my God, I really need to go to the toilet. Oh my God, I really need to turn onto my side. Oh my God, I really need a lozenge. And that's what your mind keeps the whole time you're practicing. So listen to it. It's trying to tell you something. Respond to it with kindness and compassion. And then it'll kind of settle down and practice with you. In my experience, I hope that's true for you. All right. If anyone is wearing glasses or a tight hairband, I've cut my hair. That tight hairband was starting to really get in the way of my meditation practice. So radical solution, but it's worked. And if there's anything else that is just, you're aware of it as a distraction or a discomfort, tend to that. Somebody's written, thanks for sharing that, as I always stay as still as possible and think it's wrong to move. Yeah, that's really interesting, Bridget. That idea that the way we're doing it is wrong, that we're getting it wrong. It can be so helpful to just be as comfortable as possible and move if we need to. And just notice if the movement is fidgeting or if it's something that requires your attention. And if it's fidgeting, you can look at that and see, do I really need to scratch my nose or wriggle my fingers or whatever the fidget is. But if it's something that you need to move, you need to ease some tension, then allow yourself to do that. And then when you're ready, if you're happy to close your eyes, if for whatever reason you don't like closing your eyes, you can just rest your gaze somewhere down in front of your knees. So it might look like my eyes are closed now, but I'm just looking at the pillow that my hands are resting on. You can scan your body and just notice, are your feet flat on the floor? Is there any unnecessary effort anywhere? Are your hands tightly clasped? Are your knees pressed tightly together, or are you sucking in your tummy? And just see if you can let go of any of that unnecessary effort. And when you let it go, you can kind of give a little sigh. Let your body be soft. Let your body soften around any tension or discomfort present in your experience in this moment. Allow your body to just breathe itself. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change your breath. Most of the time, we're not even aware we're breathing. So, yeah, the body is well able to just keep that going without our supervision or management. Maybe as you're settling into this, as you're coming into land for this practice, you might be aware of sounds, even if you're wearing headphones, even if you have tinnitus, you might be aware of sounds in the distance, outside the building, somewhere else, a different room, or a neighboring property. A person or an animal nearby. The ticking of a clock or the hum of the motor of your computer or some other ping from the device you're using. Just allow all of those sounds to come and go. And if there are thoughts crossing your mind, whatever they might be about, some event that's happening in the day, some ongoing situation in your life, some conversation that you've had, or some whatever, something on the news, just notice that. The way you might notice the weather, the clouds in the sky, just notice that thought. There might be several thoughts. The mind is extraordinary. There might be a superhighway of thoughts, some really at the fore and some just humming away in the background about dinner or the past or some plans you have for the future or some tune that's lodged in your brain. Any or all of those things might be happening. Just notice that. It's almost as if when we're meditating, we're going to a high place. And from that high place, we have an incredible view of the rivers and the forests and the towns and the meadows, of the clouds and the birds, all sorts of things. And we just can see it all, this panorama, the panorama of our mind. And we can just be interested in it. That's the view. Nothing to get attached to or react to, just noticing it's there. And then our attention might move somewhere else. We might not notice that for a little while, but when we notice it, when you notice anything, that is a moment of mindfulness. In that moment of mindfulness, we can just notice our body, where it is, or we can notice our breath, or we can observe our thoughts. Look what my mind is doing. Feel these feelings. And if you're new to this, or you're struggling with some difficulty at the moment, there might be some inner critic thought saying, oh no, I can't do this. This is not for me. I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, just notice those thoughts. That's just like interference. Notice that thought. That's my mind thinking a thought. The tone of that thought is a little bit critical. Just breathe into that. Remind yourself, I'm just practicing being here now. Again and again, whether you're doing this on this Tuesday evening or you're listening to this as a recording, I'm just practicing being here now. And that will be different for everyone. So let go of any criticism or judgment. Notice whatever there is to be noticed here now. And if you need to make any adjustment to your posture, if you need to lengthen your spine, if you need to drop your shoulders, if you need to turn to your side or stand up, whatever it is for you that requires that little adjustment. If there's some well-known area in your body where you hold your tension, still there. Notice where that is and see if you can let that go a little bit. That might mean waggling your jaw and letting your jaws be apart. Might be lifting your shoulders towards your ears and then letting them go, letting them drop. Might mean turning your palms upwards, letting your hands rest by your sides or on your lap, across your belly. You might notice that the soundscape has changed, is constantly changing. Yeah, that's how it is. If there's any sound that you have a preference for or a dislike of, noticing that. Seeing if you can let go of either or both and just let the sounds be. Let them come and go. That's what they'll do anyway. But see if you can just let that happen. And if there's still something persistent, snagging your attention like Velcro, some pain or discomfort or some stress or upset, befriend yourself with this. If your friend told you, I'm in pain, I have discomfort, I'm very upset about something, or I'm worried about something, you'd ask them, what is it? Can I help? So allow that for yourself. Befriend yourself. Just gently turn towards whatever it is, kindly and compassionately. Just notice whatever this is, that is one facet of this diamond moment. Just one particle of your experience. What is it? Might be a big particle. Might feel intense. It might have a color or a shape for you. Might have an aversion to it, or it might be familiar, like an old friend, an old adversary. Breathe into that, whatever it is. Feel your lungs inflate, your heart beating under your hand. If there's some tension or pulling away from it or resistance to it, see if you can just let it be there with you in the moment. Like the surface that you're resting on, or the wallpaper or the paint on the wall. We're not asking ourselves to like this or try and change it in any way. We're just letting it be here. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Is there some little space within us in this moment, some little modicum of serenity where we can accept this here now? Grant me the courage to change the things that I can. Maybe that's the courage to stand up or lie down or turn onto your side or drink some water, whatever it might be. And grant me the wisdom to know the difference between what I can change and what I can't. In that little gap, that little moment of awareness, there is a choice. How can I respond to this experience in this moment? Is there anything else present in this moment? There's the breath flowing in and out of the body constantly, like the waves throwing themselves up a beach and falling back into the ocean again and again. There's the sounds coming and going. There's this body here, the different contact points with the floor or the chair or the mattress or the cushions, the pillows. Let's scan this moment and see if there's anything pleasant here just now. We're not looking for the spectacular moment. We're not looking for the lottery win. Just something pleasant, maybe the taste of the lozenge or the softness of the seat or the cushions. Maybe the temperature is just right. Maybe you like this accent you can hear. Maybe there is a warmth in some part of your body that's very pleasant under the blanket or on the pillow. Maybe this breath flowing in and out, maybe that breath is pleasant. See if you can stay with whatever pleasant little thing you've discovered for 5 breaths. And if you've lost count or your mind has wandered, that's okay. That's what happens sometimes. Just come back and examine this moment. Is there anything pleasant in your experience now, this new moment? Maybe there's a cool draft of skin against your neck. Maybe your pet sitting beside you is purring or breathing, and that's comforting. Maybe just being here with this community, meditating, this little gift you're giving yourself. Maybe this is pleasant. Breathe that into your awareness, this tiny, pleasant moment. Maybe the pain or the discomfort is still here as well, but there are many facets to this diamond moment. Where will we rest our attention? We have that choice to respond kindly to our suffering, but not to dwell there, to explore this moment and discover what else is here. What else is here for you now? We're going to begin to bring this practice to a close, but take your time. Keep your eyes closed. Just gently notice your body, the surface it's in contact with that's supporting its weight. Notice your breath and the sounds that you can hear. Before you open your eyes, I'm going to read a little poem called Come to the Edge. Come to the edge. We might fall. Come to the edge. It's too high. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed, and they flew. Maybe gently begin to wriggle your fingers. Rotate your hands at the wrists, first in one direction, then the other. Maybe roll your shoulders. Have a stretch. Open your eyes. And if you want to stay where you are, resting, by all means, do that. Thank you very much. Who wrote that wonderful poem? That Murphy's Law. It just opened on that page and now it's gone again. I'll tell you later if you go to the community practice page. I'll write it in there somewhere. Thank you all so much for coming together and being part of this special community. It's really lovely to see all your faces, to have you join in. We'll be here again next Tuesday, same time, same place. You're very welcome to join us again. And of course, this is going to be on YouTube, so you can listen to this whenever you like, the recording of this, and practice whenever you want to. Take care. I hope that was helpful. Yeah, and thanks, Mark, as always, for your technical support. Really appreciate that. Good night, everybody, wherever you are. Hopefully the sun will shine soon. And newspaper headline in Ireland today was Dublin hasn't seen the sun in 10 days.
Lovely time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
hopefully there'll be sunshine soon.
Yes, we have sunshine in Germany.
To you.
It's
Enjoy.
sunshine in York.
It's cold though.
Oh,
Enjoy.
Mark.
thanks, Karen. Bye.
See you,
Thank
Karen.
you.
Thank
That
you,
was
Karen.
lovely.
you.
See you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Claire. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Spring will
everybody.
come.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Karen.
Thanks very
Pleasure.
much.
Thanks,
Millie.
Karen. Thanks, Mark. Bye.